So guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about pattern manipulation. And I guess this is the right time for me to say please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also turn on the notifications bell so that when I post new videos you can be alerted and then you'll see it in no time. First things first, in fashion designing and then in making clothes, cutting clothes and all of that, when you to cut a clothes, right, there are like three basic methods in fashion designing where designers use to like cut clothes, and one of them, there are like three basic methods, and then one of them is freehand cutting, and that basically involves you placing your clothes on a flat surface and then putting in the measurements you need for that design on the clothes. So whatever you're doing it basically on the fabric. You are putting the design and whatever you're doing, you're marking them straight on the fabric, and that is freehand cutting. But then the second one is draping, and as the name implies, it just means draping whatever fabric or muslin or whatever you're using. You drape it on a mannequin, and then on that mannequin is where you marking the design you want to do for that particular project. And then the third one is pattern cutting, which I do, and then that one involves basically placing your paper on a table and then imputing your basic measurements, your body measurements. You impute it on the paper using preconceived formulas that fashion designers already came up with years back. So we use those formulas to like draw our pattern and then marking our style lines, designs, and whatever we are doing for that particular project. And that is basically pattern cutting stroke pattern drafting. Now with all the other with the two other methods, I feel like pattern cutting stroke drafting gives you that it gives you that freedom, like to create many different styles. It doesn't really restrict you, because as with draping, it's not particularly easy to replicate designs with draping, because then you would have to like pad your mannequins, and especially if you're trying to like make clothes for somebody else, you have to like pad your mannequin to fit that person's measure, because obviously we all don't have the same body measurement. So you have to like pad your mannequin to fit that person's measurement and all of that. And then with freehand cutting, it also restricts you in some certain type of way. And also like with freehand cutting, I feel like if you make mistakes, because mistakes are like inevitable sometimes, you have already made that mistake on the fabric you are using for the project. Unlike with pattern drafting, where you have already done everything you want to do on a pattern paper, then that pattern paper, if you want to like see what's, maybe you are not confident of what you did on the pattern paper, you can always like cut it in the scrap fabric first just to see what it looks like. But then with pattern cutting, you can replicate the design, like you can grade the pattern to fit like different sizes, like with size 8, size 10, size 12. All you have to do is just grade the pattern, then you don't have to like keep drafting the same pattern all over and all over and all over again. So with pattern cutting, I'm basically going to be talking about methods, ways of creating different designs from pattern cutting. With pattern cutting, which I'm going to be talking about today, there are like three methods of like getting new designs from that basic pattern that you have. This is like a replica of a basic pattern. So from this basic pattern, for you to get like different designs from it, there are like ways of doing that. There are three different methods of doing that. So one of them is that manipulation. The second one of them is adding fullness to the pattern, and the third is contouring. Contouring just means reducing the pattern to like fit closely the body of the body of the model, or the body of wherever you are making the clothes for. So we are basically reducing measurements to fit every slope, fit every curve and contour of the body, as the name implies. And then adding fullness is just basically opening up through slashing and spreading, opening up the pattern, and then adding more volume or fullness to the pattern. And I've basically done some of these things before. If you check my video on how to draft a leg of mutton sleeve, I used adding fullness method, where I cut off the sleeve and all of that. If you would like to check out how I did that, you can click on the link scrolling through your screen right about now to see it. And then for that manipulation, which I'm talking about today, that one is just basically transferring your dart. That is your waist dart that you already have. It just means transferring that to different parts of your pattern, because there are different places you can transfer that dart to. So let me just show you something right here. This is like a miniature pattern paper, like basic pattern. Then if you look at this, these are the many different places, excuse the fan please, these are the many different places you can transfer your dart to. Like this my waist dart right here, this my waist dart right here. You can transfer it here, you can transfer here, you can transfer to the middle of the armhole here, middle of your shoulders, middle of the neck, here, and then here. So to transfer, all you have to do is just draw a line wherever you want to transfer the dart to, and then when you draw that line, you close it up. You close this dart up. But before you close it, whatever line let's assume we want to transfer the dart somewhere here to the middle of the neckline here. So after drawing the line, you cut it up, you cut it open, and then you cut open your dart too, and then you close the dart here. So as you are closing it, this place opens up. Let me show you a physical representation of it so you understand what I'm saying clearly. But then what I'm trying to say is that these are all the many different places you can transfer your dart to create a new design. So whenever you transfer this waist dart from here to like any place on your body's pattern, you come up with like a new, completely new design for your project. Now let me show you something. Now look at this. This is another pattern place. Let's assume we want to like transfer the dart somewhere here, like to the middle of the neckline. So what I'm going to do first is to draw a line here, like locate where the middle of my neckline is. Neckline. So I'll draw a straight line from the bust point here, straight here. Now, the next thing is to cut. I'm going to cut open this dart. Now that my dart is cut open, look at it. My dart is cut open. Then I'll come here to this line I drew. I'll come here to this line I drew and then cut it open here. So I'll cut it open all the way, but not through the bust point. So I'll just locate, like on your pattern, you can locate like half inch away from the, or quarter inch away from the bust point. So I'm going to stop right here. Now to transfer this dart and open this place up, I'm going to close. So I'm closing this, my dart. Look at my dart here. So I'll close it up here. Then I'll secure with a paper tape. And that's that right here. Look at it. So this place is closed up. Now I have no darts here anymore, so I've already transferred the darts to the middle of my neckline. So when I'm cutting this on my fabric, I cut like this, then notch these two parts. So on my fabric, when I'm sewing, I close back the darts like normal, the way I would sew my darts. So I close it back, and then it forms something like this. So I'm going to place another piece of paper here just to show you what it's going to look like. Now this is what my new pattern will look like. So this is a completely new design from what we had earlier. So when I'm cutting this and sewing this, all I have to do is just cut this pattern like this, then I'll notch these two dark legs. So when I'm about to sew, I sew exactly the way I would sew my darts. Now look at this. So you can either decide to like sew this like the way you would sew your darts, or you can decide to like sew it as a pleat. So all you have to do is just fold it this way, and then you sew this neckline down like this. Now I have a completely new design. Now I'm going to do another one just to show you like different ways of transferring that to form new designs. Now take a look at this picture. Now seeing it right, so to do that you need a complete pattern like this, a full pattern like this. And then what we are doing, what that picture basically says is that we'll transfer this waist dart here to the middle of this armhole here, and then we transfer this waist dart here to the middle of your side right here. So first things first, like I said earlier, we are going to mark out what we want to transfer the dart to. So for this one, I'm transferring it somewhere around the middle of the armhole. So I'll locate the middle of my arm. So I'll locate the middle of my armhole, and then I connect. And then for this one, we are transferring it somewhere here to the middle of the side here. Then we connect. Now I'm going to cut open the darts. Now to like open this place, all I have to do is like I'm going to cut open this part also. Then I'll close this dart here and secure with a paper tape. And now we have it. This part is open. So I'll just place a scrap of paper underneath this. And there you have it. When I'm sewing, all I have to do is just pleat it. I'll pleat it, and then it forms that picture I showed you. Then for the other parts, we are transferring this one here. So I'm going to cut this part also open. This line, I'll cut this line open. Now that is cut open, I'm going to close this dart here also. Now look at this. Both of our waist darts, the waist darts here, they are now transferred here and here. So one of them is right here in the middle of the armhole, and another one is, the second one is right here at the middle of the side. So as with the picture, this is the pattern you are using for that picture, and then you know that you can see from that picture that that is a completely new design. It is not in any way the same with your basic bodice pattern. So I hope from this video you are able to like understand a bit of that manipulation and how to like transfer that to different parts of your bodice to form new designs. In my next video, I'm going to be doing like a bit of a complex pattern manipulation. So please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and then turn on the notification bell just so that you can be alerted when I drop the new video. So thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.